Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to take a look at a business metric called top selling products. And as always, I'll be using Power BI to break this down for you. We'll begin with a practical business example to set the stage. From there, I'll walk you guys through the process of pinpointing which products are truly shining in sales. As we navigate through Power BI, you'll see how I present the sales data in straightforward visuals, providing a concise overview of which products are outpacing the others. By the end of this video, you will know how to analyze the top performing products and the reasons behind their success. So here you guys can see the visualization of top selling products, and this is the one that we want to end up creating today. We have a region on the left, a slicer for that, marketing campaign, sales team. We have some sales, by product names over time and some other things. So this is what we want to make. But of course, before we create any dashboards, before we start to work with data, we got to know why. Why are we going to create this? And that is where this comes into the picture, and that is a email from a stakeholder. So let's read that. That's going to set the context. That's going to set the stage for the end data product that we want to create. So let me take you guys through this. Dear awesome data analyst. Actually, let's take the subject. Zooming in on our product stars. Dear awesome data analyst, I trust this email finds you well. Lately, I've been in numerous discussions about our product lineup. We've launched a good number of new products over the past year, and while I hear buzz around several of them, I'm eager to know which one truly shines in terms of sales. Which products are the top performers, basically, especially since there's a lot of new products. It would be immensely helpful if you could provide insights into how our products have been performing. Are there specific ones that stand out and consistently dominate the sales charts? Understanding this could guide us in inventory decisions, marketing pushes, and even future product development. Basically, the better we know how our product, performs, especially new ones, that tells us, how, what products do we need to make sure we have inventory to create? What product do we push in terms of marketing, and what types of new products we want to develop? That is the back end part of that statement. For our next product strategy meeting, having a clear view of our product hierarchy in terms of sales would be instrumental. Your expertise in uncovering these gems from heaps of data is always something I look forward to. Eagerly awaiting your insights. Warm regards, Charlie Thompson, Director of Product Strategy. Now, as always, I think it's very important as someone who works with data is to understand, what is it that we're trying to solve and why are we trying to solve this? And that is what you should be thinking about when you read this email together with me. So if you want to try this, pause the video, take out a pen and paper and try and write down, what are the things that stands out to you and start to think, what are the KPIs that I need? What are the KPIs that I already know? Is it totally, new to you and you have no idea where to start? Which perspectives should I present or visualize to help Charlie to answer these questions? That is what we want to try and find out before we actually start to do anything in Power BI. So this is what we have so far. You can try that, stop, look over, think, do some notes. And then when you're ready, come back and then you can join me on the next step, which comes now, and that is the user stories, which are meant to create a little bit of focus to figure that out. So here you can see the user stories that I have defined is that the first thing is I want to be able to show yearly product sales overview. As the Director of Product Strategy, I want an overview of sales for all products launched in the past year, grasp their overall performance. Number 2, highlight top performance. As the Director of Product Strategy, I want a list of products that consistently top the sales charts to identify and celebrate our product stars. Basically, which product performs the best. Visual representation of product sales. As the Director of Product Strategy, I want a visual breakdown, bar chart or pie chart to clearly see the hierarchy of product sales. Okay, I like that he says bar chart or pie chart. He's suggesting some things. We need to figure out what's right. Okay, product sales trends over time. As the Director of Product Strategy, I want to observe the sales trends of newly launched products over time to determine if there's sustained interest or decline. Do they keep the interest of people shown through sales, or does it decline? And then number 5, correlation with marketing efforts. As the Director of Product Strategy, I want to know if any marketing campaigns or promotions correlate with spikes in sales for our top products to evaluate the effectiveness of our marketing pushes. So now we're starting to connect things. Sales is the outcome, marketing efforts is the push, and which efforts we've done on marketing drives a certain sales outcome, depending on the campaign or other things that might be related to marketing efforts. Great. So now we have something from a stakeholder. We've tried to create some focus. Now let's make sure we understand the KPI. Top selling products identifies the products that generate the most sales over a specified period. Should be fairly straightforward. During May, our electronics store sold 500 items. Out of these, 200 were smartphones, 150 were laptops, 100 were headphones, and 50 were smartwatches. Thus, smartphones were our top selling product for the month. Makes sense. So how do we apply this? We use this to recognize the top selling products that allow businesses to understand customer preferences and market demands. This knowledge informs inventory management, promotional campaigns, and future product development, ensuring the company aligns its strategies with what customers are actively seeking and purchasing. Now read that one more time, because sales is something that you see in so many businesses. So this is bread and butter. It's good for you to understand it, and then just start to think about, how do I visualize it? How do I communicate it? If you were to present it, how would you do that? Those are the thoughts you should be having right now before we move to the next step, which is working in Power BI, where things gets more technical and more applicable. Up until now, it's more understanding, downloading information and digesting. So let's move to the next step. So if we take a look at the dashboard that we want to end up with, this is what I created. So as always, let's go grab the data for that and then move step by step to get to this. So here I have a Power BI file. In the middle, you can see it says add data you report. There's no data there, and there's nothing on the right side. So I'm going to go to get data. I'm going to go to text/CSV, and then we're going to go to top selling products. Make sure, do we have all the files? Yes, we do. I have it as an Excel file, actually. Let's go this way. Excel workbook, data content, top selling products, and then this is the data for top selling products. So now it's gonna show us a preview. We just need to select the right tab. So after I have done that, we can see what does this data look like. I'm gonna go to transform data to get this into Power Query, which handles the data load and data transformations if we have to do that. We have a date, sales date, product name, sales amount, region, sales representative, sales team, marketing campaign. We pretty much have what we need to be able to do the analysis that we want to. You can see on top here, you have a date icon, some text icons, some amount or value icons. It's also good. So now we can go to close and apply. It's going to load the data in now, and you'll see on the right side, it'll become available in a couple seconds now. So there we have the example data. We can start to work with this. So let's just refer back and see what does this actually look like. So we only have one measure, only one calculation, and that's total sales. So we can start to add that. So let's go right click, new measure. And when you write DAX, you want the name of the measure first. I'm going to go underscore total sales. The only reason I put the underscore is I like to keep my measures on the top of the list. That's the only reason. You could just name it total sales also, totally fine. We're going to go sum, opening parentheses. I'm going to start to type amount, so it searches for that column in the table. So amount, I have that. I'm going to hit tab and then close that parentheses. That's it. We have our first DAX measure made. That's the one that I want. This is fairly straightforward. Then let's start to create some of these elements that you see on the page. Now on top, I want to go to home, and then I need a text box. So I'm going to add that on top. I like to put text boxes on top. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I like that just as almost like an overview. So I'm going to go top sales products. I'm going to go Control A just to select that. 24, bold it. And this is what it looks like now. I think that's fine. I'm going to keep the default theme this time. Usually I'll go to view and I'll change to one of the other themes, but I'm going to keep this one for now. Let's change the canvas background. I want to change it to gray. Put this to 50% on transparency so we get a nice little border effect between the elements, and you'll see that soon. Let me just make sure that I cover the width. There we are, perfect. Region, marketing campaign, and sales team. Those are the slicers that I want. So I'm going to go put that here, one down. We'll put region inside it. And I'm going to keep that open like this. Control C, Control V. Then it was region, marketing campaign, more. So we have more marketing campaigns. So I'm going to make sure I can see all. Now, I want to be able to see the full value. So let's do it like this. And we actually have different marketing campaigns for different years. Okay, good to know. Control C, Control V. And then I think this is sales teams. Let's add that there. Different sales teams. Great. So these ones I can use to filter everything that's going to happen on the dashboard as we create that. So we have a KPI. We have some other things here. So let's start with total sales. So let's add this card. I'll add my measure to it. This time I want to drag and drop it. Great. So we have that. And we'll keep it like it is for now. I'm going to change it a little bit more. We have total sales for different product names. So I'm going to go Control C, Control V. So now I have an element. I can change this to a bar chart. It's going to now put that KPI on the y-axis that I just had here, and I'm going to go product name. This gives us different product names, and you can see that there. This looks fine. So far so good. I can see that I have different colors for the product name here, so I can add the product name to the legend. That will give me those different colors, the same effect. And then I have it over time here on the right. I need to make this a little bit more narrow, to be honest. It's a little bit too big. I need the width. Let's also shorten this a little bit. So here comes the first challenge I can see now, and that is that I don't have this month term. So I need to add a date table. I have that here. Now this is a table that is created in DAX. I'm not going to load this from a file. I'm going to create this with this script right here. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go Control A, Control C. I'm going to go Insert. Oh, sorry. It's actually on the modeling new table. I'm going to go Control V. And this creates a date table. It finds the lowest date of the sales date, the highest date, and it generates a calendar that is going to create year, month, month name, short, etc. for each of those dates. So I'm going to hit enter. It's going to do that. And then what we do next is we go to the model view, and then we connect these. I'm going to drag date, drag it to sales date, and now you can see there's a relationship. There's a relationship between the tables. And this relationship is a one-to-many between the date table and this fact table. This table with our figures, our sales amounts. So this is going to filter sales amount depending on how I use it. Now I can see this is getting a little bit too big, so I'm going to make these values smaller. Then I should be able to see a lot more of these. Let's just do this everywhere. And notice what I'm doing now. Let's see, slicer header. I put that to 10. Let's put it to 9. Can I go smaller? 8. I think 9 is okay. Format painter, and then I just put it over there, so I don't need to redo this each time. Now I can still not see it. I want to see the full values. So that's the width I have to have. So let's just give everyone the same width, just because I like to be consistent. I'm going to put this one over here. Give me 1 second. So now I want to make this one a little bit smaller. So the value doesn't need to be so big, so we can go 25. We can go to the label, make that 10. The value, let's show the full amount. And I don't want the decimals, so I'm going to go 1000 separator. And I'm going to go to whole number. Okay, so now we have that. So we have a little bit more space now. So let's copy this one, Control C, Control V. Again, I'm going to work through this. Let's drag that over here. If we change this now to a line chart, And on the product name, we're going to use the month name short from the table we just created. That gives us total sales by month name. But I want to see sales for different products. So let's add product name to the legend. Okay, that shows that. I think we still have to work a little bit on the formatting here. So let's go to, okay, we have the legend. Let's turn off the legend title. We don't need that. The actual title for it doesn't have to be 14. That's quite big. Let's start by format. Painting that over here. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's better. It's better. Let's try to turn on these data labels. What happens if we turn on the data labels here? I think that's too much. Let's leave that off. I think this is a good start. Okay, what else do we want? We have the product name, and then we have different campaigns, I think, and then some more. Let's try that. So I'm going to go back here to the matrix. I'm going to make this one over here. I want it nice and wide so that I can cover this for the whole year. Product name goes on the rows. Total sales goes on values. Let's just steal some of the formatting that already exists there. Didn't really help us that much, to be honest, but okay, I'll take it. Columns. Great. So product name, and then we have campaigns. Let's remove this one. So let's do it the other way. This makes more sense. We have different products. And then we have which campaigns worked well in those products. You guys can also play around here. I'm going to go to style presets. I want to take this one to minimal. I like that style preset. Values, let's make it much smaller. Column headers, let's make it smaller. I'm trying to make it more compact. Rows, let's make it more smaller. I think this is good. If I go to the grid border, just to give it a nicer color. I think that looks good. I think that's pretty good. We can see the different values, sales under different products and different campaigns. I have to make it easier to see high or low values. Let's go to background colors. The lowest value is white. The higher values are, let's go with this yellow, just to stick to the color pattern here, which gives it a little bit of that heat map effect. So you can play around with these colors. You can play around with open slicers, close slicers, data labels, on, off. You figure that out. That's up to you. I'm just showing you guys the flexibility and what's possible here. So this is quite close to what I created here. A little bit different, but still, we're not that far off. Oh, there's one thing I need to fix. The sorting on the month name here. If you go to month name short, make sure you sort this by a column. It's just a month number. So it gets the correct sorting from according to the months. So month name short. And let's go ascending. Yes, great. So we have the original, we have the new version that I showed you guys how to create. So you guys can follow along, try and create that yourself. The last step that you guys should be doing, that I also should be doing, is go back to our user stories, ask ourselves, can we do these ones? And let's see. So yearly product sales overview. All products launched in the past year to grasp their overall performance. So actually, what is a challenge here is that I don't have a filtering for year or month now. So this is actually showing data, for the whole year. So what we can do is, usually I'll add a filter here on top, which I did here. See, I have a filter here on top. But what I want to do now, just to do this, I'm going to add a year filter to this page. And go to basic, and you can go in and you can select 2022 or 2023. And when you do that, then you can see what happens inside the year, or you can have both, however you want it. I'm also going to add quarter name to this filter. So let's change that. So that you can see, now you can see what filters do you have here. Month name short if you only want a month. So it means you can filter on these ones on the right side here. and that will affect everything. So that's one way of doing it. Now, if you have those filters, then you can look at product development. Then you can look at product development throughout the year for a specific year. Okay. Top performers. As the director of product strategy, I want to list product that consistently is at the top of the sales charts to identify and celebrate our charts. So here you can see the top performers on the products. I would probably sort it from left to right because that makes more sense, at least in my mind. So what did I do now? Sort x-axis by total sales from left to right. What am I doing? There we are, extending. So then you can see what are the top performers. If you want to see it over time, it might be better to close this one. Then you can see it over time. You sort this one by total. So now you can see it's the highest one on top, and then you can open it if you want to see which campaigns drove that, if you want that. That's a way to adapt it to solve that even better. That could be a good thing. To sort this one by the total. Okay, I think that does it. Visual representation of product sales. Visual breakdown, bar chart or pie chart. I think this pretty much says it. This is what is it called? A bar chart. If you made this into a pie chart, it would look like this, which is not wrong. But I think when you go more than an X number of pies, I think it's better just to stick with that bar chart. I think it's easier to read. Here, if the values gets too close to each other, change the data labels to an amount which shows it better. So thousands, then it starts to differentiate. Or don't use any, use open numbers, and it's super easy to see right away. Up to you. Product sales trends over time. I think that's what you see here on the left. And here you can open it as you want. You know, there's a lot of different products here. So you get, I mean, it's not that many, it's 5. It's a little bit jarring, but you know, play around with it. Maybe you just want one product and see that over time, or 2 if you want to compare those. But it shows it over time, so I think that solves it. Correlation with marketing efforts. So that's what I tried to do down here. Different product names, and when you take this one down and you can look at the different marketing campaigns that are below the product, it shows which marketing campaign was the most effective to kind of build up under the total sales for that month. So I think that also shows it, but in this case, you probably have to show it. You would explain to him this is how it works. Especially if this is the default view, you would have to explain that to the user that, hey, you need to expand it one down, and then you can see the marketing efforts part. So I think we solved all these fairly well. Of course, marketing efforts you could also say that this shows the sales that were derived from the marketing campaigns. When I think about it, maybe we should have had something called marketing spend or something. That is maybe more correct to say that is the efforts, and the sales amount is actually the output of those efforts in terms of what we got back in sales. So maybe that is better. So then let's revise. I actually don't think I solved this one. I kind of solved it. It says I want to know if any marketing campaigns are promoting correlate with spikes in sales, which you could say you can see when the spikes are, but you can't see the spend, which means, you know, if you divided sales amount by marketing spend, you could have sort of like a, you know, marketing spend outcome percentage or something that says something about that. But overall, still happy. You know, I think we solved this good, and I think this helps the business start to analyze top sales products and understand how that trends over time, how it relates to different campaigns, regions, sales teams, and other things that I put on this dashboard to be able to analyze. And that is how you can analyze top selling products in Power BI. If you like today's video, then give it a like, subscribe to the channel, or even share the video with someone else. If you have any thoughts or questions, then you can leave those in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.